Eamon Khan here for Seconds Out with Francis Warren. We've just had the press conference for Sheeraz versus Williams. Good card and prospect headlined by the two fighters. What can we expect on Saturday night?
Fireworks. It's a bit of an old cliche, but I think there's some big knockouts coming Saturday night. A couple of cagey fights as well, so it's going to be interesting. Well, and a terrific undercard with some of the youngsters coming through. So I think it has it all. Great way to kick off the season for Queensberry.
In terms of the test there for Hamzah Sheeraz, do you feel it's the right time to pull the trigger on the likes of people who have been at that world level, that fringe world level type of contender? Do you feel he's ready for that test this Saturday night?
Absolutely. I think he's been ready for a little while. Liam Williams has been there, done it. He's got all the experience you need to gauge where Hamzah's at. And, an explosive knockout performance. People who say Liam shouldn't have taken it. He was, should have retired before. But I would wholeheartedly disagree with that. Hamzah Sheeraz, whatever he does on Saturday night, is because he's grafted and worked hard for it. Liam's up for this. Liam is ready to go. I know Liam very well. I've been, was in Miami with him for the Andrade fight, and how disappointed he was after that, because we all thought he was going to go there and do a job on Andrade. So I know what Liam Williams was about. I know he's got the heart of a Welsh dragon, and he'll be here on Saturday night to cause an upset. He probably won't think it was an upset though. That's where Liam Williams is at. But Hamzah Sheeraz looks better than I've ever seen him. Reports coming out of his camp say that he's in the best shape of his life. Old cliche, best camp ever, all this stuff. But he's a consummate professional, does everything by the book, listens to the people who give him, the right advice around him. And I think we're going to see a star being born on Saturday night in Hamzah Sheeraz.
Should he get the victory? Is he ready for those big names, the Chris Eubank Jr.'s, the Liam Smiths of the world, looking at the world title scene, Yana Becks, and etc., etc.? Do you feel he's ready for that if the Williams win comes through?
Well, I think if you start pulling people's records apart, if he goes and beats Liam Williams, then certainly is ready for that. Because Liam Williams went the distance with Liam Smith, and had a close fight with Liam all those years ago, only losing on a cut, which is his only stoppage. And he went a distance with a very, very well-established world champion in Andrade, and I'll go back to that fight. And he beat a very, very good up-and-coming fighter in Atlantis Fox, who many people thought Liam was the underdog in that fight. So if Hamzah Sheeraz does go in there and do a big job on Liam Williams, whether it be on points or as a stoppage, I think we can safely say that we've got a potential. Well, I know we've got a potential world champion on our hands, but I think it might be sooner rather than later if he goes in there and puts in a statement performance.
On the undercard, Anthony Yarde features, and normally when Anthony Yarde has a bit of a low-key fight, there's a big one coming up on the horizon. A lot of people talking about that Buatsi fight now, that Buatsi's come through, and linking his name to Yarde before in the past too. Do you feel that that's got to be next for both of them if Yarde comes through this weekend?
It's really straightforward. If the Buatsi fight is there to be made, we will make it, because that's the fight Anthony wants. We've been in touch with Buatsi's people, and we're trying to make it happen. It's really, it's hopefully going to be a straightforward one to make. There will obviously be lumps and bumps throughout the way, as there always is in boxing, but it's definitely a fight that both guys want. Josh has been quite vocal this week post Dan Aziz's fight, saying that Anthony Yarde's a fight he definitely wants. Anthony said it, and there's no disrespect between the guys. I think it's just a fight that makes sense for both guys, and it's the right fight at the right time is the old adage in boxing, and I think that very, very firmly applies here.
Would it happen in the UK?
That I can't comment on. I'm not going to say one way or the other. I'd love to see it in London.
A lot of UK fans would love to see it in London too. They're also looking forward to Sam Noakes returning on this card too, in a good fight as well to battle the undefeateds. Sam can talk well too, can deliver it and back it up in the ring too. Do you feel that he's got that ceiling to push further on after this fight?
This is I think this is the breakout fight Sam's been waiting for. British. If you become a British champion in any weight, I think it's it's one of those things that when a young fighter turns pro, that's the first step to say, right, we've done that, we've conquered that bit. Now let's go for the next one. There's the winner of Gavin Gwynn and Mark Chamberlain for Sam potentially in the summer. But we're definitely going to keep Sam busy this year. He's got plenty of belts now to defend. He can sort of dip in and out of the British scene. He can go international with his BC International Silver and his WBO International. And all the while, just chipping away at those rankings in the hope that in the 12 to 18 months' time, you never know, a world champion might come knocking and give him a voluntary. In the meantime, we will keep chipping away, as I said, at the rankings. And in that same time frame, I'm sure we'll get up to some sort of one or two world ranking with the BO or the BC. Because that's the ultimate aim here. He's 26. I've been given the green light to start making the fights that will give him those world rankings. So that's what we're hoping to achieve in the next 12 to 18 months.
One in the scope with your fighters, Moses Itauma was due to be out, but now that's postponed for May 18th. Is he going to be on that rescheduled card?
As far as I'm aware, he's going to be on the rescheduled card, and we'll try and get him out at least once, maybe twice before then.
What I just heard you in your previous interview saying, look, you want him to fight 8 times this year. Coming towards that 8th fight, he's got a lot of fights on this belt, looking to push towards titles. Are you looking towards the domestic scene as the route for him? The domestic titles?
Depends who's willing to take it. I mean, we're in a good position with the English title. Sol Dakers is going to defend it once, and then we'll have a conversation about that. And it's not about calling anybody out. I've got ultimate respect for all the guys in the domestic scene. Moses' career is still very much in his infancy, and you know, the potential is going to be fulfilled, but it doesn't all have to be fulfilled within the next 2 years. He's got a contract for 8 fights per year. Queensberry will fulfil that, and we'll see where we are at the end of January in regards to what big titles we're going to go after. In the meantime, we will go after some ranking titles. We will be thereabouts within the BO, the BC, because as I just said, you know, it's the same reference. I'll reference Sam Noakes as well. Is that you don't ever know what might pop up, what opportunities might arise. But if you're not in it, you're not going to win it. So we want to be in and around it.
Would it be a shame though if the British title was to pass him by because of age? You know, if he's ready
for the British title at some point in his career, we've already had that conversation. We just don't know when yet.
Okay, that's good to hear. That'll be music to boxing fans' ears.
He might be the first one to ever fight for a world title before he fights for the British. But you know, we've had that conversation. We want to fight for the British title.
I'm glad to see the British title respected and wanted to be fought for. Just your thoughts on that Tyson Fury situation. The fight's now rescheduled because of the cut. Look, from a Queensberry perspective, do you see it as a bit of a weakness potentially that you're the Queensberry man there going into this fight might have that as a target that Usyk will look to go for in that fight?
Tyson's a man, so I think we'll be all right.
Fair enough, your confidence in your man. Francis, I'll just leave the final word with yourself. Looking forward to this card. What can we expect for other the fights that we mentioned? Masood Abdullah as well too against Kez Ashfaq. Good fight there as well.
A good fight, and I think Nathaniel Collins will be waiting in the wings for the winner of that one. Obviously, Carol Ituma's fighting as well, 8-rounder. So looking forward to seeing Carol continue his not comeback, but his resurgence after that disappointment last January. And then 2 potential foes, Alois Jr. and Tommy Fletcher are fighting on the same card. It might be, you might see that one in the next couple of fights as a potential domestic dust-up. So it's a good card. I mean, I'm very much looking forward to it.
Question just popped into my head. I won't leave that just there. I asked it to Dev as well. The Queensberry versus Matchroom 5-5. That sees your father and Eddie Hearn come together. Who'd have thought they'd seen it? Did you expect to see that or boxing fans expect to see that in their lifetime? Those two coming together, shaking hands, making fights?
It's like the OASIS reunion. It's always been in the works. It's always been listen, it's fantastic for boxing. Listen, I think over the years there has been business done between the two companies, but for His Excellency to be able to broker such a landmark deal. Just shows his testament to how much they want to see the best fight the best, and it's hopefully be a pleasure to work with Matchroom.
If you could pick one fight you'd like to see for the Queensberry versus Matchroom 5v5, what's that one fight?
Pierce O'Leary, Dalton Smith.
Good way to leave it, Francis. Pleasure.